Hey everybody, welcome to the It's Really None of Our Business podcast. I'm Monica Vandermeer and this is
Amanda Nielsen. This is a show where we open a bottle of wine and we attempt to solve the problems of the world.
Yeah, if you were looking at our last episode or listening to our last episode, you'll see that we're wearing the same clothes. And that's because we're so fat. We have nothing else to wear.
It's true. We batch these episodes a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we record a couple episodes at once. And usually we change shirts to trick you guys. Not this time.
Yeah, now, I don't know. I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but COVID fatigue. Are you guys not all just so tired and fat? Like everybody I know is saying, "Oh, I'm so fat and I'm so tired." And I go between the two of COVID is real and we need to become more vigilant and I need to get vaccinated to I just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear about it anymore and I'm so tired of it. And the government is probably conspiring to
keep us in our homes.
Which of course is ridiculous. I don't really believe that, but it's, I know we're on our third wave and BC just shut down our borders to Alberta and that is exhausting to me. Like it means if they keep it up all summer, it just means no camping in BC, no visiting my family.
Yeah.
And that it's just one more thing. And it's fucking snowing.
Yeah.
It's almost May and it is still snowing.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that are going on.
I know.
It's just, everything is just, there's no lightness.
Well,
do you know?
What we were saying, before we started recording, we were just talking about how we're both, getting fat, and
Yeah.
we know how to fix it. We know, we both exercise, we know how to eat healthy, we know how to fix it. But I don't want to, because the only thing to look forward to is the meal I'm going to cook, and the cocktails I'm going to make, and the bottle of wine I'm going to drink. I need something to be there's something to look forward to this weekend.
For everybody else who's living out in a world where there's sunshine and beaches, we live in a place where it was still -3 degrees yesterday and snowing. And so it's not we can't even go outside and go for a walk or go for a run. It's you are exercising in your house. You're sitting in your house. You're all you're doing is in your house. And it is depressing.
Board games with the kids.
Yeah. More sex. All I do is have sex. Just kidding. I wish.
Yeah, no. I'm oh
no,
my
just
God.
Leave me alone. I'm fat.
I'm fat. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we didn't change our clothes. Okay, you guys, give us a break.
Because we don't even care. We don't even care.
We're fat and COVID sucks and there's nothing going on in the world.
God, and on that enlightening, and that lightness and happiness. So last week, Amanda interviewed me and she asked me some very personal questions, mostly about whether I peed in the shower and picked my nose and whether I brushed my teeth in the shower. So now it's time for me to ask her some questions. And, we didn't review these questions before, so Amanda has no idea what questions I'm going to ask her, and they're not the same as the questions you asked me.
We're trying to get to know the host here. We want you guys to get to know who we are as people.
Yeah, so these questions will help, maybe.
I know you listen to us and our opinions, and we talk about our kids and our husbands, but this is the down and dirty stuff.
All right, question number 1, Amanda. What's something most people like, but you don't understand?
Dogs.
Yeah.
What else? Because I think you guys all know that about me, although I'm kind of starting to like dogs, as we talked about last week.
I'm so disappointed.
Something that people like that I don't understand.
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
Right?
The whole world is upset. I am a reality show person.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I will watch the Real Housewives shows.
Oh, you're a loser.
Oh, I love them. I would love to, I just binge those shows. Love them, love them, love them. But The Bachelor, for some reason, I'm why? What is the appeal of one man and 30 women fighting over him? I think it's because people want to get famous, I'm assuming, because then you get Instagram followers. There's what other reason would there be to go on that show?
I don't know. Just that show. Okay, I don't like to watch The Bachelor or any of those housewife shows, but those shows Married at First Sight or whatever, I'm oh yeah, I gotta see that.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, and those are reality TV shows that I'm why would a person do that? Don't get it at all, but I do like to watch it.
Some of the Married at First Sight stuff I can see, I'm I don't know, if I was single, might try that. Put your trust in the. I can get along with anyone though.
There's gotta be money in it, or fame, or like
Well, there is fame because you end up getting Instagram followers, and then you can sell hair curling tools on your Instagram. That's what
Oh.
they do. Like, then you just do ads, and you make like, I don't know, depending on your follower count, maybe $10,000 a post, and that's how people.
Oh, so you get married for Instagram followers?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then maybe love.
what would you do for Instagram followers? Would you marry a stranger?
If I wasn't already so happily married, I would do anything for fame, really.
Very interesting. All right.
What's next?
Next question. What's something you've never been able to do well?
Oh God, so many things. Ask Karsten. We need him here. He's always making fun of me at how much I suck at things. I don't know how to whistle. I don't know how to wink. I can only wink one eye. I can't wink the other. Can you wink both eyes?
Yeah.
What?
I can wink like I probably could do it to a beat.
Oh, you're so dreamy. No, I can't do anything. Like literally, if there's something that people can do, I likely can't do it.
But you can, all physical things. Like you're really good at running a bike or
like I can keep a bike up, right? Yes, I can run. I'm just like, I don't know. There's lots of things I'm not good. Like whistling, like that's how. Do you know how to whistle?
Yeah.
Show me. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can do things you can't. I can wink and whistle.
Yeah, those are the two.
That's it?
Oh, I'm sure there's more. You want to FaceTime Karsten? We can ask him. Like, what is a list of things I suck at? Catching a ball, throwing a ball.
Oh, you know what? I can't believe how similar we are. Like, I have a rule against balls.
Like, what is it?
Like, I will not play with balls.
Like, if somebody throws, like, think fast, throws the ball, do you just, like, dodge
yes,
it?
I'm going to do this. I can't. So there was a women's baseball team on the island I used to live at, AITA, and they asked me so many times because there's not very many women there. Like it's a small population of women in that age group, and I'm like, I can't catch, I can't throw, and I can't run.
See, I can do the running part. So Karsten used to play on a beer league team. He played for years, and I would go watch him like before we had kids, and I had nothing else to do. I'd go sit and watch and drink beer and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And often they would need a girl because, like, for whatever reason, a girl didn't show up or whatever. So they'd be like, Amanda, get, and they would force me to play. And I,
like, oh my God,
I don't know what I'm doing. And I'd be like bat catcher, and they would just like do everything to like make my life easier. But I think everybody knew I sucked. So if I happened to hit the ball, I could run, but I can't do any of the other things.
I wonder if this is something that we could learn.
Well, anything can be learned.
I can't, like, I've never been able to throw a ball. Like, it's like this.
Yeah,
like
100%.
That. And like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I was on an ultimate frisbee team, and the only reason I was okay at it is because I like had the energy to like run. The throwing and catching I did average at, but like it was not.
But you know what? I don't have a problem with frisbees either. Frisbees seem better than a ball. But football, no. Yeah. Basketball, maybe basketball, because that's not so hard to throw into a hoop. But anything with balls, and maybe my favorite ball is a golf ball.
Oh, I see. I suck at that too. But like
I suck at it too, but at least it's more doable.
I went and played tennis the other day for my first time in my life. I've never swung a tennis racket in my life.
And how was it?
It was fine, but I played with a friend who like she also doesn't know what she's doing. So I was like, what are the rules? Like, what is the point? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, I understand you hit, but she couldn't give me, I'm like, I can see the appeal of it. So I might do some Googling and learn the rules and like go and play with Karsten, but he'll just like get frustrated with it. Like, I'm just terrible at sports.
Well, do you know, I don't know if you know this about me. Oh, this is so far away. I hate games. I hate board games. I hate anything. Like
You hate board games?
I'm a sore loser, like really bad sore loser, and I will cheat. What? I will cheat, and I will tell you, I'll play this game, but I will cheat. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why do you do that?
I hate them.
What do you like to do on a rainy day? Puzzles?
I'll puzzle, but Greg won't let me puzzle right now because we're thinking about selling our house, right? So he's like, we have to keep the house clean and puzzles don't look good.
Greg won't let me puzzle right now. Like it's like a verb. I'm a big puzzler, you know.
So yeah, like back in the day when reading was a thing, I used to read, but
reading is still a thing. Reading hasn't gone anywhere.
Who reads?
It's audiobooks now.
It is. I love audiobooks.
Yeah.
But I hate. I hate board games.
I like board games, but I do have a time limit on them. Like I start to get bored of them.
10 minutes.
A little longer, but there's some of those games that just last too long, and then if I can tell I'm like not winning, I just start to zone out kind of.
Me too.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
But I don't mind
Like, I prefer a game that's funny, like one of those games where you have to make up funny sentences.
Cards Against Humanity. Yeah.
Like that I can do, and I can do for a short amount of time. Because
Yeah.
even then, I'm like, really?
Yeah. So what would you, okay, if you're at a group event, there's like 6 of you, couples hanging out, you ate dinner, you're having drinks, what do you want to do? You want to just chat or do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
If somebody's like, okay, everybody, we're playing cards.
I go.
I gotta go.
I go, no, I'm not playing. That's what
you're
I'll
that
say.
one.
I'm that one who's like,
I'll just watch.
I'll just watch.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
I'm like that sometimes. The other day we had a few people over and everybody was playing and I was like, I really don't, because it was like a Family Feud or something, and like we had like the whiteboard and it was like a whole thing, and I was like, I kind of just want to make drinks for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, is that okay? Like, I'll just stand here and you guys play. Like, I'm fine with that. But sometimes I like playing. Depends on the game.
I hate it. Like, if someone says we're gonna play cards, I'm like, I will do anything not to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see that. Okay. What else you got?
Yeah. I guess this isn't all about me, is it?
No.
It's all about you. What would you do if you were invisible for a day?
If I was invisible for a day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like spy on people.
Right?
Like, what else is there to do?
We could rob a bank. That's the first thing that came into my mind. I would like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you need like I don't know how you get the bag of money out.
Yeah, and like how would you get into the safe and stuff? You wait for somebody to have it open and then you sneak in and then you're all of a sudden bag of money floating. I don't know. I think I would still have then the logistics, because the next day you're not invisible and you're like, okay, well now I got to deposit all this money. Is that gonna any red flags? You just keep cash in your mattress and then I don't know. Like I feel like, and then I'd have a lot of guilt because I'd be like,
It's a bank. It's fine.
You know how much the bank has stolen from me in interest fees?
Exactly. So okay, you're invisible. Are you gonna like sneak around and watch people have sex?
No, I don't want to watch people have sex. I probably just want to listen to like people like, what do you guys do in your house? Like, I don't know. Like, who are you talking? I don't know. Honestly, that's like probably the superpower or whatever.
That you don't want.
I don't really care to be invisible. Give me flying. I'd like to fly.
Yeah.
Or what else? Oh,
so I guess that could be the next question: is if you had a superpower, which one would it be?
Maybe like teleportation, like get from here to home,
to the bank,
like,
to the bank, to the vault. That's because I'm thinking there was a movie like that, and I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
You just like teleport to the bank, take all the money out. So if all those banks that are missing money, you should check to see if I have any teleportation powers.
See, I'm thinking more like teleport to like Mexico, spend a day on the beach, come right home. You know what I mean? Like
You're
stuff
not
like
thinking
that.
big at all. You're not.
I don't want to steal from people. I'm not
It's
a thief.
a bank. It's not stealing from people. It's insured.
Okay, fine. I'll steal from the bank. If you could steal from anything, what would it be? Monica's would be the bank.
I would steal from the bank. I'm not going to steal from my friends.
Yeah, mine would be all of my friends.
I have ethics.
I don't know.
I would sneak into the house and watch them all have sex, and with my invisible powers. Come on, there's just like
You want to watch your friends have sex? That is literally
not
the
my
thing.
friends. Not my friends. Not really my friends.
I don't want to watch anybody I know have sex. Like,
But
no.
what, strangers, like those good-looking people, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sneak into their house.
I don't think that I really get off.
That's not
and
your
watching-
thing.
I don't think so. I don't.
I think I have a thing.
You're like a voyeur.
Yeah.
Like you're like
Yeah,
peeking
yeah.
through the windows. Like that's what gets
But
you
I would
on.
never do it.
See, I would rather people watch me. That would be my thing. Well, I'll put on a show.
Yeah.
Maybe. Except I'm really fat right now. Give me 6 months to get in. Let me get in shape and then we'll make a thing. I'll do it. You can watch.
Okay.
So bad. Like watching your friends, or even like I heard my sister have sex one time. I can't get that shit out of my head. And like just because like if it was like somebody I didn't know, I'd be like, oh haha, they're having sex.
But it's not hot for you.
No.
Huh.
No. I don't want to hear people having sex. Like I'm just like, that's your private time. La 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 la. Like then
I think I'm more of a pervert than you. I think
we knew that.
Yeah, I think that does kind of float my boat a little bit.
What about the idea of people watching you? Does it give you the same thrill?
No. I think that I'm more the person who wants to be in control. I want to order people around.
So you're like the director of the porn.
Yeah.
Lift your leg. We can't quite see the holes.
No, but it'd be more like you have sex with her, or, you know?
But are you given like technique moves or like faster, slower? Or you do you. I want to see your moves.
No, I don't know. Maybe I just want to watch. Yeah, I think I'm a watcher.
So if you're invisible, you would steal from banks and watch people have sex.
Yes, that's what I would do.
Help. Somebody get me out of here. Monica's not who I thought she was.
I'd like to say I was kidding, but I'm not. Okay, what will people say at your funeral? Duh.
We've already talked about this.
Have we?
Well, we talked about what we want our funerals to be like.
Oh yeah, but what will people say at your funeral? Like I'm gonna make them a list so that they know what to say.
I want people to like have it come from their heart. What I hope they say is she was just such a light. She brought love to every part of the room. Anytime we were
such
sad,
a good mom.
She never yelled at her kids or gave them any kind of trauma.
It's all lies.
I don't know. What are people going to say at my funeral? You guys tell me in the comments.
Yeah.
What do you think people would say at my funeral?
At your funeral? Oh, I think that people would say that, I'm just being funny, but I think they would say that you were funny and charismatic and...
Go on.
And you make really good drinks and you're a great hostess. I think that one of your best qualities is that you don't have any drama in your life. Like that to me is like, when we were talking with Melissa the other day and she said, I have friends and I have to listen to their fucking problems. And I'm thinking, I don't really have friends that have problems, but
and if I do, we try to keep them away from me.
You are no drama kind of girl, and I think I am as well. Like I don't say to you, and then he said this to me.
100%.
You know, like, and if I have any drama in my life, I tend to like don't want to talk about it, like shove it under a rug. Because you obviously have things that go on in your life. How do you deal with that?
Honestly, I don't. I'll be honest. Karsten and I had like a bit of an argument 3 nights ago or something, and it stemmed over Colton, of course, because I'm an asshole to him, and like he got in trouble at school. It was a long story, but he essentially dared some kid to cut herself with scissors. So there's that. Yeah. But like he's not a bad kid. He was just being a stupid little boy. He didn't realize she was going to get hurt. Like he wasn't trying to hurt her.
Well, he's 6.
Totally. He was just doing this with scissors on his hand, and he dared her to do the same, and she's a little girl and like cut herself. Like he didn't want her to get hurt. He's just stupid and didn't think of the consequences. Anyways, he didn't tell me about it. After school, when I picked him up, I was like, oh, how was school today? He's like, oh, I got in trouble for what he has this watch he's wearing for playing with my watch. Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it. But he didn't at one time mention that he also got in trouble for this.
But do you think that he wasn't thinking about it? Or do you think...
No, he told me later. He didn't tell me because he didn't want to get in trouble. Yeah. But anyway, so around 7 p.m., I got an email from his teacher. And you can tell by the tone of the email, she's pissed. And it said like, the parents of the girl are really upset and they don't want Colton sitting next to her anymore and all this stuff. So I'm thinking it was a bigger deal. Like, and I don't know anything about what actually happened. So I went and like picked him up from where they were. Karsten was at, like they were at this park or whatever, and Karsten wasn't responding to my text, and I was out anyway. So I'm like, well, he's not allowed to keep playing. I'm going to go get him, whatever. I brought him home. Karsten didn't really enjoy, I don't know why I'm telling the whole details. The point of the story is we ended up getting in an argument about the way he talked to me in front of everybody. Like he pretty much told me to like calm the fuck down, and like Colton's probably fine. Like, why are you yelling at Colton?
So where was he when he talked to you that way?
In front of people at this, like, okay, so they had ridden their bikes to this park. I went and picked Colton up because I was like, come on, like, you're not allowed to, like, have any more fun. Like, we need to figure out what the hell is going on. I just got this email from your teacher, and, like, you had ample opportunity. I was more mad because he had opportunity to tell me what had happened, and he didn't. I'm like, I'm not mad that this happened. Shit happens. I'm mad that you, like, chose to hide it from me. That was, plus, a bunch of other things had happened.
But you're not mad about the fact, like, really, what were you mad at? Really, are you mad that he's not telling you?
Yes. Yes, because I want him to, like, communicate with what's going on, because we've been having a lot of issues with him with, like, kind of, like, just behavior issues in general. Yeah. So this was one of many things that had been happening with Colton this week, and it kind of all came to a head. So anyways, Karsten kind of like, he had already done this a few times, like called me out on shit in front of people like multiple times, and call me out on stuff. I don't mind.
But
like,
not in front of people.
Exactly. And that was kind of our argument. So anyway, it all came to a head, and I said, you're absolutely fine to call me out. I was acting like an asshole in all 3 of the situations, because there was 3 specific situations where he pretty much told me to shut up. But he didn't like pull me aside or say even nicely like, Monica, you're kind of acting like a dick right now. Like it was like he was more aggressive about it. And I said, listen, like you're allowed to call me out because I'm fine to self-reflect. I realize that actually in those situations, you're right. I was being kind of a dick, especially the Colton thing. Like I overreacted.
But not in front of Colton either.
Exactly. And that was the whole thing. And we kind of got to, I don't even remember why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
There was a reason you're like, how do you deal with drama? How do you deal with drama? Right. So I'm like kind of pissed at him at this point, right? Because I'm like, you're right. Like I did fuck up, but the way that you're coming at me is like very aggressive, and you don't like, you're not supposed to talk to the person that you love like and make them look stupid. I'm like, I only talk to people and like roll my eyes and storm off when I don't respect them. So the way that you're treating me is like you don't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
So anyways, essentially what happened is all that shit happened. I was pissed, and I was just like kind of in my room, like about to go to bed. And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to sleep, but I don't really want to fucking get in a fight right now. Like, I just don't. So I sent him a text, and cause everything I was like thinking in my head, and I'm like, I don't really feel like talking to you right now, but like, this is what's going on. You're being like super aggressive towards me. And yes, I understand that you're mad at me, but like, are you pissed about something else? Because like the way you're treating me is like the way you're treating me, like you don't even like me. So like, that's not okay. So he came upstairs and he's like, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, not really. Like, I'm kind of annoyed at you right now. And then we ended up talking it out because, like, you have to.
You have to, yeah.
We probably had about a 45-minute conversation. And I just told him everything I was thinking. He's like, well, I'm not, like, I do respect you. I'm sorry that I treated you like that. And I was like, you're absolutely right. Because he was like, he kept going back to what the issues were. Like, you did this and this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's not the point.
I said, you're right. Those things I fucked up. Like, the time that I did this and you told me to shut up, I should have shut up. Like,
but we're not talking about
well, that's what it was. And I said, I have no issue with you saying, like, hey, Amanda, like, you're kind of acting like an asshole right now. Can you stop? Because what had happened, some guy was at her house and I was, like, grilling him on his dating life. And Carson's like, read the room, like, scream. But he, like, screamed it in, like, a really aggressive way. And I was like, okay, like, and then like a couple days later I was like bitching about something else and he's like fucking yelled at me for that, but it's always in front of people. And I'm like, you're right, what I did was fucked up. I shouldn't have been doing those things, but there's other ways. Like, you don't talk.
I think you know what, I think you need a safe word.
Yeah.
You know, like Greg would do this for me. He would say red light, red light, and then I'd actually start getting really annoyed when he red lighted me. I'm like, what the fuck do you think you were red lighting me?
Yeah.
And that didn't help either. But what if it was like orange peels? Or
it doesn't matter what, like, I think there's a way. Like, I think that I'm self-aware enough to, like, like, if the person I love, like, Kirsten, is, like, telling me my behavior is fucked up, like, I will step back and be like, oh, yeah, you actually might be right, because you're not going to come at me for no reason. But it's the way that he was doing it. So anyways, the moral of this whole story, and the point I'm, like, airing my dirty laundry, is, like, we do have drama. We do have issues sometimes.
But I don't hear you talking about your drama.
No, because him and I talked about it for about 45 minutes. By the end of the night, it was like, I promise you, if you bring something up to me that's bothering you, like the way I'm talking to Colton or the way that I'm talking to this person, and you bring it up to me in a respectful way, I respect you enough that I will, like, self-reflect and, like, fix my behavior. I'll think about it for days. You think this whole Colton thing isn't affecting me? I'm thinking about it. He's like, you're too hard on him. I'm like, I realize that. That's something I need to work on. I'm actively, like, trying. But, like, you yelling at me in front of people and Colton
doesn't help.
It's not. All it does is make me think you don't respect me.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, obviously I do. And we talked it out.
Okay, but you know what the cool thing is, though? Like, this whole point of this conversation is, like, the thing that I like about you, and we're talking about what people would say about your funeral, which is the beginning of this conversation, is that you don't have any drama. And what I mean by that is, okay, so you said, okay, you just had this thing with your husband and you had this issue, but did you call 10 of your friends and say, you know,
this is the first I'm telling everybody on the podcast.
Yeah, but did you call 10 people and say, my husband is mean to me, he doesn't respect me, he doesn't love me, and then get everyone's opinion and everyone say, fucking leave him, he's a douchebag.
It actually really bugged me that there was, like, people around, like, so, because I used to, when I was younger, I had no issue fighting with him in front of people. I would have no issue with it. I'd be like, you're a dick, like, because, so the first time he yelled at me, it was like, this guy was at her house and he's like single, and I was like drunk and I'm like, why don't you have a girlfriend? And I was just like being annoying, and apparently Carson could tell that Buddy didn't want to
talk about it,
be being grilled by me. Fair enough.
Yeah, but then you know what? You're just being yourself.
Like, and I'm like, in my mind too, I'm like, I've hung out with this guy multiple times and we always have these kind of and in my mind, I'm like, he's fine. But even okay, maybe I wasn't reading the room. In the past, if Carson yelled at me to read the room, I would have been like, go fuck yourself. I know him. He doesn't care. And then next thing you know, we're in this big fight in front of people in the middle of our kitchen. Like, I was like, nope, I'm just gonna like leave this situation because I don't really want to fight with you right now. And,
But
like, you're
my thought is, why would Carson put himself in between that? Like,
because he thought I was making yeah.
So why can't his buddy say, okay, Amanda, time out? Like, is he such a fucking wimp that he can't go, okay,
No.
time out, I don't want to talk about it?
I don't know.
So
I think because
I'm on your side there. Go ahead
you.
and tell him whatever you want.
Thank you. That's because you'd probably do the same.
Yeah, I would.
I think, though, Kirsten does have a point. Like, it is who I am as a person, but often I do push the limits with people and make them
But are
uncomfortable.
you supposed to be that really sensitive person who always says the right thing and does the right thing and
that was
fuck that.
That was kind of my argument too. I'm like
so tired of fake people who just
I'm
don't
absolutely
say anything.
fine with self-reflection and being like, maybe I did make him feel uncomfortable. Like, you can bring that up to me and I will like assess it from my own perspective and be like, no, he wasn't uncomfortable or he was exactly like, but it's okay to bring shit up to me. I don't mind. Yeah. Like if something I did, if you think that like, Amanda, your behavior was actually a little fucked up.
Later.
Exactly.
So then later you could say...
Or do it in a joking way. Like, Amanda, read the room. Because I'm going to... No, but I'll hear that in a joking way. I'll hear it and I'll, like, put that in my head. And then tomorrow, when I'm, like, self-reflecting about what had happened the previous day, I'll be like, oh, should I have read the room? Like I take that shit in. Like, I think I'm pretty self-aware, I hope, at least.
Like, what do you think this man has gone home and cried himself to sleep because of what you said?
0%.
Like, why couldn't Carson said to you, like, even that night in bed, like, hey, Amanda, like, I just noticed Buddy was feeling I looked at him, he looked a little uncomfortable.
That's what I told him. I said, and he agreed. He's like, I shouldn't have called you out in front of people. Like, and it's just... Essentially, this is what a relationship is. Instead of going to bed pissed, which I almost did, we decided, let's talk this shit through. And we have learned how to fight now, that where we don't like yell at each other, call each other names. Because we used to do that like fuck you thing. Like we don't anymore. I'm like, I'm not gonna say fuck you to you. You're my person. Like I don't.
Like I think you're best. Like when you're pissed at somebody. Like my thought is always like I'm gonna go wait. From this, I'm going to take a couple steps back, and I'm going to tell you when I'm no longer angry. Yeah,
totally.
You know,
and like these are my feelings. This is why I felt the way I felt.
It's those I statements. I felt, and I felt sad, and I felt, stupid.
You're so mature.
I know.
Okay.
I'm so mature. Next question.
No, let's take a break. Take a break. We'll come back. Okay.
All right.
Okay, we're back. What else do you want to know about me?
Well, I want to know everything about you. And like I said, I honestly just feel like I honestly do respect you so much for the way you deal with shit, because you don't often bring your shit to the table. Like women do that, right? Where it's like where you bring your shit out and for everyone to hear, and but not in the way that you're talking, but in the way that my husband is an asshole and this is why, and then you look for confirmation that you're right.
But I think, like, I used to do that kind of stuff when I was younger. I would be like, drama, drama, drama. Like, I absolutely did.
But older women still do that, too. And doesn't it, that fucking annoys me. I can't be friends with somebody like that.
But somebody like that is probably in unhealthy relationships throughout their life anyway, so they have things to bitch about. I think at the end of the day...
Because they want to bitch about it.
Yeah, like, I think Karsten and I, everybody has issues. Every relationship, whether it's friendship, family, husband, whatever, you're going to have your set of issues, and it's how you deal with it. And if you actually... it goes back to respect and like actually liking the person, because I'm not going to say something like really hurtful to him because I don't want to hurt him, like never, right? Like he's not the like if because that's why
just like to your children you shouldn't say hurtful things.
That's the thing, you
can't take it back.
No, you're absolutely right. Like and that's something I really need to work on. Like I don't say things that are like really hurtful to Colton, like you're an idiot, or I would never ever say that. But it's my lack of patience that I need to work on. And I told Carson that. I'm like, you're right. Like, I don't have patience with him. And it's my own issue. It's who I am as a person. He's like, well, you can't use that as an excuse. I said, I'm not. I'm just telling you, like, it's really hard for me to understand somebody like Colton because he is just, like, a different kind of person than me. So I'm going to lose my patience sometimes.
Yeah. Apologies really help.
Yeah. Yeah. And I apologize to him all the time.
Next question.
He should apologize to me, though.
Fuck you.
I'm just kidding.
I know, you're kidding.
Make this 6-year-old apologize. Write me a letter of apology, please.
Okay, here's my funny question. If you could wake up tomorrow and you're a guy, what would you do?
I don't know, run the world? No, you know what I would do? I
said I would masturbate all day.
Why can't you do that as a girl?
Well, do you want to feel like what it, do you think that a guy...
We're so different. I don't care about what it feels like.
Don't you?
I guess
Like, I
would do it once. I would masturbate once.
Just one time.
But I would put on a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and be so comfortable and be like, man, it sure is nice not to have to wear tight clothes.
You just sit in your boxers all day and scratch your balls. That's what you're saying?
No, I don't know. What would I do as a guy? I don't know. Like, go and interact in the world and see what it's like to, like...
Would you try to hit on women?
I don't think I
No,
would.
it's
I don't
not.
know if I would do... I don't know. What would I do as a
See,
guy?
like, how hot am I?
Yeah. I feel like guys just have it easier because
Do they?
in certain ways. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I'm sorry, this isn't a very good answer. 'Cause
Okay, we can get rid of that one.
maybe the question sucked.
Maybe it does. Too much wine. Okay, when was the last time you tried something new? And what was it?
God, you should have given me like prep work for like the questions ahead of time because I don't know. I don't try new things. I'm like, because I don't like doing things that I'm not good at. So like I often will be like, oh, I don't know, I'm good. Don't worry about me.
I think the last time I tried something new, I bought cryptocurrency. Does that count as something new?
Sure.
That's something new.
Yeah, but you made a shit ton of money on that.
No, I
didn't you?
lost it all.
Oh, your sister was wrong. Oh,
Well,
thanks
so
for the
far,
advice.
so far. So I bought that XRP and it went up to like I bought it at $1.60 and it went up to like $2.50 and now it's at $1.30. So no, I'm down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would say maybe like I tried tennis the other day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was new and
That was new.
I was average at it. Like
But trying new things is cool.
yeah, like all this podcasting and all this kind of stuff, like all this stuff that I'm working on, like that's all
And
kinda
that
new for
whole,
me.
like,
Yeah,
that whole...
the Amazon thing I'm doing is
Yeah.
very new.
So you actually do have shit going on. Isn't it
Yeah.
funny how you're like, oh, nothing's going on, but you're like,
Yeah.
actually...
The only thing with that is I don't talk about it too much because it's not really happening yet. Like I'm in this process of building something right now, like a business, and it's still in the beginning phases, so it's not even launched yet. So it's like it's like hard for me to talk about because I don't even,
What is your end goal with that?
just to like sell online.
So, like, do you think that I'm going to be a millionaire? It's going to give me, like, you must have a goal. Like, I'm going to make $500 a month. I'm going to make 1,000. I'm going to make 10,000. Like, what is your plan?
Well, okay, so essentially for anybody who doesn't know is we're going to be selling on Amazon. So we have products in China right now that we've sourced and we are building a brand around it and we're going to send them to the Amazon warehouse and just like anything you buy on Amazon, somebody owns those pieces, right? So we're kind of trying to get into it. So right now the goal is just getting into it and learning the process. This first product that we are selling, I don't think is going to do super well, only because we've done a lot of the research and we know how much people, like the competitors, how many people are buying and all that stuff. I think we have a little bit of a leg up because we're going to be more of like we're creating a brand around it, which I think is good. But eventually we want to have a whole line of similar products. So like as far as financial goal, I don't really have one yet.
Really?
We don't.
Like, I'm surprised you don't have a financial
Well,
goal.
I do,
like,
but I'm not sharing it on the podcast. Is what I'm getting at. Like,
Like, I would think, like, if I was going to do that, I'd be like, okay, I want to, like, make my living doing this.
100%.
I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah, like I'm not sharing it on the podcast because it's like so new and like it's not the kind of thing I want to share with like our 20 listeners. But
But the goal is to be a millionaire.
the goal is
I can say I knew you then.
to work on to like make money online essentially, and you know we're well on our way. Like the products are at the port in China now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the fact that you're doing something out of the box.
Yeah,
like you're not just like, well, how can I make more money working at McDonald's? Or,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like finding like a brick and mortar job. Like you're actually trying to find something to do that is creative and you know that you love. I think that's great.
It's just something new, yeah. So look at that, I'm trying something new.
People will talk about it at your funeral.
There you go. This all goes back.
What will people talk about at your funeral? That you were creative and
I don't know, I have a lot to learn, but
don't we all?
Yeah.
What's a belief that you have that many people disagree with?
That God doesn't exist and
Yeah.
religion is a sham, and my belief is that I can't say this. I just don't have any sort, like, when you die, you die.
So do you believe, I mean, I was talking about this with Greg the other day about the whole God thing, and I said, I think I'm in the minority about the whole, like, I don't even know if I say that there is no spiritual afterlife at all. Like, but I said, I think most people believe in God. And he says,
Mhm.
I don't think that's true. And I think most people believe, I think if you took a poll, most people would say that
They
there is a
believe in
God.
something at least.
Yeah.
Higher power,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so you believe in no higher power at all. Like dirt nap. Like you die, you have a dirt nap.
Yeah, I really do. Like, I believe in energy.
Yeah.
I believe in, like, vibrations in our energy. So I believe that, like, as a whole, as a community, people can put out positive vibes and positive things will happen. I believe
Yep.
that
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
vibes are a thing. Like, I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
But do I believe that there's, like,
So no ghosts then either.
oh, yeah, no, I don't, I guess. I've never really put thought into that, but no, I don't think I do. No,
Yeah. I've never been ghosted. You?
no.
I've never dealt with it. And people talk about, oh yeah, there's a ghost or an afterlife or a spirit. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, never.
I
never.
think that a lot of it has to do with just having, like, the fear of the unknown and having this peace of, like, when somebody dies, they're going to be in a better place and grandma and grandpa are together in heaven and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
if that gives, it's the same thing for me with, like, pets. It's like, if that's what you need
Yeah.
to feel good and happy, I don't care.
But you don't.
I really don't. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really going to become an issue, I think, as my kids get older. I'm just like,
I don't think so.
okay, good.
Because I never did that with my kids. And like, as you know, their dad died and we never said he's in a better place. Like we
Interesting.
didn't, it's just like, yeah, he's gone. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that Amanda believes that he's sometimes in the room. Like, you know, like his spirit is with us. Like she kind of feels his presence. And I'm thinking, well, I can't deny that. But maybe just thinking about somebody brings them to you. And maybe not in a spiritual sense, but more in a, you know?
I don't know. Like, it's impossible to know the answer to this. Like, I could be completely wrong. But,
of course you could, but who knows?
And then it's the whole, like, if there is a God and I don't accept him, then he's not going to bring me into heaven. Like, I don't want to be in that heaven anyways. Like, if he's going to fucking punish me for not believing. Like, I honestly just cannot wrap my mind around the fact that I just can't.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you guys think I suck because of that, but it is what
you know,
it is.
I think we talked a lot about religion in our last episode, a couple episodes ago. And, you know, I have come full circle because I used to believe that God was an insurance policy. Just like, why do you have insurance on your car? Because if you crash, then you'll have a way to pay for your car or pay for the other people. So I thought, well, if I believe in God, then it's my insurance policy to get into heaven.
I hate
so that if I just go, you know,
that makes me want to puke.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
So it's just an insurance policy. Like, what does it hurt? I'll just believe in God so I don't go to hell. But now I'm like, if I have to believe in an entity that he wants me, like, okay, so if there's a God and he's supposed to be a higher supreme being than us, like, I don't want somebody on their knees worshiping me. No. So I can't imagine that there's a supreme being that also wants that. I think it's control of the masses.
I absolutely agree with everything you just said.
I no longer see it as an insurance policy. I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
The reason I mentioned the kids thing is, like, because everybody says, and I said this even before I had kids, like, I want them to be able to make their own choices and decide what they want. Yeah. But if my kids end up believing in God, I will really, really struggle with it. Like, it's the same thing as, like, super religious people who, like, don't want their kids to not believe. Like, I feel so strongly about it. Like, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. Like, and obviously I'm not going to be like, not in my house will you wear a cross. But, like, maybe I will. Like,
you know, I used to say exactly the same thing. I said, how could my children rebel against me? I'm like, well, they can have sex with whoever they want. They can be gay. They can be straight. Like, there's no rebellion there. Like, go ahead and do what you want. But as soon as you become a Christian, I'd be like, not in my house. Like,
honestly, not in my fucking house.
Take that shit out of my house. Like, to me, it's the thing that triggers me the most.
I don't know why it's so triggering for me, because it's not like I had any kind of...
It's so controlling.
And this is also probably going to make people hate me, but when I find out people are religious...
You disrespect them.
I think a little bit differently of them.
I feel like...
I'm like, I can manipulate the shit out of you. Like, if you believe that...
Yeah, you feel like their intelligence level is lower. They've dropped a bit, right?
That's so bad to say, but I'm like, I just can't. I can't. I don't know.
Religion is often fear-based, right? And so you were you know, so I grew up in a house that was religious. I went to a school that was religious. And so if everywhere you go, everyone believes in Santa Claus. So you're born, everyone believes in Santa
Yeah.
Claus. They talk about Santa Claus every day. Santa, 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 Santa. Like, and everybody, your friends, your school, then you're like, I'm the only one that doesn't believe in Santa Claus. So there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're in an environment like that, then you kind of have to give people a bit of leeway. But I'm like, okay, Santa's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. I feel like I'm like gonna make people hate me.
No, I don't think so. I think our listeners already hate you.
Yeah. It
Just
is what
kidding.
it is. Like, honestly, I don't. That's the one thing too that I like. I'm not even gonna try to pretend.
No, I
I
can't
won't
either.
even.
I can't.
Like it is what it is. I'll never ever change my mind on it.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm pretty like willing to listen to other people's opinion. That's one
But
thing.
everything else. Yeah,
I
I
won't.
know.
I can't and I won't.
If you became religious, I'm like, we're kind of done.
There's 0% chance that will ever happen. I can promise you with absolute
Well,
certainty.
you've already disappointed me with the dogs.
Yeah, but I knew a part of me was always going to come around. I'm
You
a
know what?
nurturing soul, you know? I just want to nurture little puppies.
Stupid. Okay, the last question is, what useless talent do you have?
I don't have talents. Like, why are you rubbing
Oh,
this in
come
my
on.
face? I don't have any talent.
You must have something that you can do that is stupid.
What do you have?
Well, you know, I've told you that story before, how I can feel people's energy.
Oh, yeah.
What a completely useless talent it is that I can tell you that your arm hurts.
Yeah.
So that's a useless talent, my
Okay.
friend.
I don't know. I don't think I have any talent.
I bet. Can you like put your foot behind your neck?
I could.
Can you?
Maybe one of them. I can squat grown
Oh,
men.
yes. Yes. This is it.
I did it recently. I squatted like a 200-pound dude.
You did?
Yeah.
How many squats did you do?
Well, guys always jump off because they think they're hurting me.
Yeah.
So I probably got up to like 8 or something, but I'm like, I could have done more. Get back on, and he wouldn't. Like, people think it's weird. That's definitely a weird talent I have.
Amanda will, whenever you get Amanda drunk, she's like, hey, get on, I'll squat you. And I've seen it multiple times.
It's like my favorite thing to do.
Amanda squats people. And I think it's a great talent.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go on the Guinness Book of World Records for most squats with a man on your back.
Like, I don't know if we would call that a talent.
Oh,
but
what
it's
else
like,
would you call it?
It's like a thing I do when I'm drunk. That's fine. So if anybody wants to be squatted, come on over. I'll give you my address.
Yeah, Amanda will squat you. All right, let's wrap this up for now. And I think we got a wine and what the fuck, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
And we're back.
Hello.
Okay, so as you guys know, part of our show is we open some wine and we do a what the fuck, which is where Monica scours the internet and finds a story that makes us go,
What the fuck?
what the fuck?
So more wine for me and more wine for you.
Thank you. So we're drinking the same wine. Normally we do a bit of a review on this. It's already been opened. You guys are now behind the scenes. This is the same wine as last episode, okay? We're recording the same day.
We still like the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Oh, it's me. I thought we were okay.
I think the one that I found is a little long.
Okay.
Well, let's do a short one.
Okay. We'll have a look.
We can always.
I should have been more prepared.
Yeah, classic Monica.
Whatever. It's not my talent to be on time.
We each have our skills.
Okay, this one I found was kind of interesting. Okay, am I the asshole for telling my fiance I don't like her wedding dress? And I kind of found this interesting. So my fiance and I are getting married in 9 months, and she's been shopping for her girls for months now. She found the dresses she loved and bought it, and was too excited to keep it a secret. And she showed me pictures of the bridesmaids' dresses, and I told her they were pretty. They matched my groomsmen suits really well. Anyways, she bought her dress. She brought her dress out and asked what I thought, and I specifically asked her if she wanted the God's honest truth. Never do that. Mm-hmm. You know what's gonna happen, right? And she wanted me to critique the dress, or if she just wants me to say that I love it. She put the dress on and came out of the dressing room, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed.
Oh no.
She's a beautiful woman and looks incredible in anything, but the dress was completely dwarfed her and didn't fit her. The wedding theme she's worked so hard for. She wanted a forestry, magical, whimsical type theme, flower crowns on the bridesmaid, but she chose a super sparkly dress with a huge skirt, which looks nothing like the simple body-hugging sexy dress she'd been repeatedly showing me. She basically picked a Disney princess dress, and I just don't like how it looked on her. I was honest when I said I didn't like it, and I was surprised that she picked it because it doesn't seem to match her, and I just thought it was too much poof and sparkle. And she got quiet and stormed back upstairs and stormed out of the house and went to her mom's, texted me saying that she couldn't believe I would say I didn't like it and what a dickhead I am, and blocked my number.
What?
This is our first fight, and I just am so annoyed because I asked if she wanted an opinion, and she said yes. Am I the asshole for telling I don't like the dress? Edit to add, I read my credit card statement. The dress was $9,000. Might help explain the reaction. Oh, you don't like this $9,000 dress? Great, because I can't return it. Probably went through her head. I don't know what to do, but sit here and laugh. Is laugh crying a thing? What do you think of that?
I don't think he's an asshole. Like, he probably shouldn't have, been maybe so honest. It kind of sucks, but like, I think the bigger issue is like she runs away and blocks his number. Like, don't get married. Like, if that's how you guys are already fighting, like, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yeah, I mean, weddings are one of those things that make people crazy, and I wonder if that's just a young woman thing.
It very well could be, because we're very emotional beings, especially when we're young.
Yeah, like it doesn't say how old she was there, but did it?
I don't know.
Did I read that? Anyways, I'm assuming she's younger, in her 20s, and I'm thinking she's just emotions run high. She's found this beautiful princess $9,000 dress.
I gotta say, like, I'm not really big for like fashion or any of that stuff, and I went wedding dress shopping, and I got kind of like, I don't really care about that sort of thing, and I bought a dress. And I remember putting it on and coming out and like being like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I was like super happy about it, whatever, right? Ended up buying it, whatever. Then my wedding was, let's say, 6-8 months later, maybe longer. And I remember looking at pictures of it coming up to the wedding going, I don't even really like this dress anymore. Like, I like fully switched my opinion. Like, now.
What did you spend on it?
$1,400 maybe.
Expensive, yeah.
So then even looking back at photos now, I'm like, if I were to get married again, I would never pick that dress.
Interesting.
For me, though, I'm like, a dress, who cares? It's a dress. It's not the end of the world. $9,000 is an insane amount to spend. Yeah, I guess some people think maybe the wedding dress is a huge part of the wedding. I don't know why. The guy shouldn't really care that much. If you love her, like, just let her wear the dress that she loves. She might actually decide she doesn't like it anyways, is what I'm getting at. Like,
but she was the one who's like, tell me your honest opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if you don't want an honest opinion, like, really, she just wanted him to say, I love it, you're so beautiful.
Which he
probably should have just
happy wife, happy life. It's kind of that thing.
Is one of those situations where, do you think that he should have lied?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think he should have. Like, what harm is it going to do? Like, is it going to ruin his day if he doesn't think she looks amazing? Like,
I guess why would he tell her the truth in that situation? Unless she could take the dress back. But I don't think you can take a wedding dress back.
I don't think so, because they're often made to order and all that stuff. Like, I guess if you haven't had any alterations, you might, but you're gonna get charged a restocking fee and all that stuff. So,
but a $9,000. I mean, when a woman shows you her wedding dress, she is saying, "This is the dress of my dreams.
Yeah.
This is the dress my." You just need to lie. I'm like, as I'm talking it out, just lie.
Yeah, just lie.
She doesn't really want your opinion.
But like,
but she shouldn't have showed him.
She is a crazy person to run away and block his, like, this is your fiance. You're blocking. It's like what you do to a guy you met on Tinder, is block his number. You don't block your fiance's number.
I can honestly say that no matter how angry I've gotten with Greg, and Greg does nothing wrong, so I would never get angry with him.
Sweetheart.
Whatever. I would never consider blocking his number. Like, I do remember that, like, before we were living together, I was really angry with him about a couple of things, and then I would just not call him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you block somebody's number who's harassing you and, like, bothering you. You don't block your partner that you're going to marry and potentially spend the
You
rest
might
of your
say,
life with.
I need a timeout. Like, I need a few hours.
I need a break. But
Yeah.
this goes back to the whole thing I think we talked about like months ago on one of our episodes, that I think when people are getting married, they don't think about the actual wedding, and that, like, I think we were talking
They're
about, like,
thinking the wedding, but not the marriage,
Yeah,
the
like,
relationship.
one of our very first episodes, we talked about reusing an engagement ring, and I was like, it doesn't fucking matter anyways, because it's not like you're gonna stay together with the second person. Because honestly, that's how I feel about marriages these days. I'm like, you people don't even like each other. Why are you, like, if you're crazy, like, all the, like, marriage, like, I get it, you want this beautiful wedding.
I know, and we all have this idea of that marriage will last forever. And it was interesting because I was reading this forum today, and this woman had said, I'm marrying my high school sweetheart. I can't remember the age they were 20. And I want to know how many people married their high school sweetheart and made it work. And everyone was like, I married my high school sweetheart, 25 years, we got divorced. Same thing. It was like over and over and over. It's really hard. Relationships don't usually last the test of times.
No.
Like, you barely know anybody. And, you know, like, I think, like, I'm in this relationship now, and I'm thinking, yes, this relationship's going to last the test of times. Yeah. But in my, like, I know something could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
And, like, it has to be that way with you, too. It could happen. Like, even though you're not feeling that way right now.
Honestly, it doesn't cross my mind, but I would be stupid, I guess, to say that, because anything could. But I think we also have done our due diligence in improving ourselves, communicating with each other, just like we were talking about earlier with that whole fight we had. Like, the fight it didn't come to blows, it didn't come to name calling, because we've learned how to communicate with each other. And I don't think we will ever go back to that way of fighting. So really, if we both respect and love each other, and we have these common goals of, like, where we want our relationship to go,
it may last the test of time.
Why wouldn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of these relationships, like, if we get in a fight and I block his number, or I run and tell all my friends, or I post on Facebook, my husband's a piece of shit, like, you know, it becomes, or I post a picture of my ass so I can get compliments or whatever, right? Like, I don't know, like, that's a good sign.
Those are all bad things. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People are fucked, and it's crazy. Like, you look and you're like, well, okay, like, you've got this issue about the dress, but I think the bigger issue is, like, don't get married.
Don't get married. She's not ready to get married.
They're probably just not they're not right for each other. I don't know.
It sounds to me like she's just being immature.
Yeah.
She's immature, and he's like, like,
like, she asked for it. It's like, well, fucking, you should learn that. Just because she asked.
Well, my guess is he must be young too, because an older guy would be like, "Oh man, this is a trap."
This is a trap. That's exactly right.
You say, "You are beautiful.
Yeah, you look so good, honey. I'm glad you spent $9,000 of my money."
Can you imagine? Never in my wildest dreams would I spend that kind of money on anything, like anything, like a car. Like a car. On a
$9,000 car.
Okay, I need a more expensive car, but not on a thing that would be like last a day.
A day.
Like a holiday. I wouldn't spend 10 grand on a holiday.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
Maybe if I had it. Will I ever have 10 grand for a holiday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just believe. You definitely will. I would spend it. I think last time.
Okay, maybe.
Last time we took the kids to Mexico, we probably spent 7 or 8 total.
Yeah, fair.
And it was worth it. It was worth every freaking penny.
But, you know, I always think that, you know, because me and Greg have only been living together for a year now. So I'm thinking 10 grand would be just my part.
Oh,
you know?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, 10 grand for both of us. That's not that hard.
The combining finance thing. Like, do you guys, are your finances combined?
No.
Yeah. So Karsten and I were very much separate finance people up until we put our second kid in daycare.
Okay.
Because at that point, we used to I would pay for daycare, he paid for the mortgage.
Yeah.
I would pay for this, he would pay for that. Like, it very much balanced out. But then it started to become like, okay, this isn't working anymore. We're transferring money back and forth. And
so you just combined it.
And I was stressed. And actually, he was too. I was like, this is weird. Like, it felt more of a step than, like, getting married or having kids. Like, combining finances was huge for both of us. And I think we just kind of, like, work. We have the same way of thinking about money. Like, we're cheap about the same things. We know when to pull back, but we also know when to splurge. And we do it at the same time on the
money
same level.
Is the thing that can just break relationships.
Yeah, because if you don't have the same way of thinking, like, you're fucked. But actually now I find I just love that we have it combined, because it's like we put very similar. He owns his own company and he pays himself pretty much the same as I put in there like from my job.
And so then do you have a portion of this goes to rent, this did, and this goes to savings? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, we started doing recently where we have automatic withdrawals go out into different savings accounts. We're trying this new thing that I learned from this guy that I interviewed on my podcast like a year ago probably.
Yeah.
But we have like alcohol and restaurants account, and we put a certain amount in there, and then we have, and we
it
don't
must be growing because you can go to restaurants anymore.
Well, we spend a lot on alcohol. Especially with all these cocktails I'm making. But so then I go through the Visa every couple of weeks, and whatever was alcohol, I transfer out of there. And like we do the same with like we call it the golf and activities account, but it's like anything fun to do. We'll put so it's just kind of
so then if you ran out of money, then you just couldn't do an activity.
Technically, you're not supposed to. We don't really follow that because we're just like, we are good. We're fine with money right now. So like, because it's COVID and not like a lot's going on. But either way, we have similar way of thinking. So we just have like this one account. And if we go out for dinner, it's not like, who's going to pay? I paid last time. Like, you know what I mean?
I hate that.
Oh, yeah. So, and we've been through all that. But I can see my parents have separate bank accounts and it's worked for them, right? Like, it's just, so I grew up thinking like, there's nothing wrong with having separate bank accounts.
There's not.
No, it just depends on your way of dealing with money too. Like if Carson was always buying things and I'm like, fuck, again, like you don't need another dirt bike, I would be annoyed. But he buys he hasn't bought a dirt bike in years. But like, back when he used to, it'd be like because he just did a big job and has a shit ton of money. And I'm like, well, he worked hard enough. He, same with like when I got my boobs done, like we spent 10 grand on them.
Do you have like a rule, like if you spend more than $1,000, you have to consult each other? Or like, is there
It's not really a written rule, but
you just do.
Yeah. Like it depends on what it is though. Like if it's $1,000 car thing,
whatever.
I'll be like, by the way, I spent $1,000 today. Like I think that we are I think we just, I don't know. We have like unspoken communications, and we know like what's something that needs to be communicated about and what doesn't. But I think
like, don't you think that for relationships, the thing that breaks most people apart are like sex and finances?
I could see like if Carson wasn't on the same page as me financially, like we would have mega issues because like. You're working hard and putting all this money away. Let's say you're a saver and your husband's a spender, and
it would make you crazy.
Yeah, I'd be like, "What am I saving for?" Like,
I'd block his number.
Yeah, that's when you block numbers. Absolutely.
But we live together. Why would you block my number?
Anyways,
to wrap this sucker up.
Thanks for tuning into the It's Really None of Our Business podcast with Monica and Amanda.
Find us on all social medias, Instagram. Join our Facebook group because we talk about some funny shit there.
We do, and we love when you guys interact with us. It's so fun.
It's the best when we can have a controversial topic and people actually engage and have difference of opinions. It's great. So keep doing it.
We've got a lot of engaged members, and I think it's really fun when new people I'm like, you guys have been reading this the whole time. Give us your opinion.
Yeah, tell us.
People will text me their opinions. Don't text the opinions. Put it in the group.
Yeah, like don't make us say Joe says.
Yeah. Well, you still can if you really want to be anonymous.
Yeah.
And then also go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel because it's growing and we love to see those numbers grow.
And Amanda will show you her boobs if you do.
It's true. Maybe.
You'll see. You get a private message.
Totally.
Boobs.
Boobs. Okay, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to It's Really None of Our Business podcast with Monica and Amanda. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. If you've enjoyed this podcast, tell your friends, and please rate and review us where you can. If you are brave enough to reach out and ask us for advice, we will definitely read it out on our show. We'll totally keep your name anonymous, so what do you got to lose? You can reach us by email at ask.noneofourbusiness@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys soon. Ciao.